how does that morph into MKultra?
In fact, there was a lot of psychological experiments with it, such as electric shocks, sensory deprivation, what's called psychic driving, like repeating messages in someone's headphones for hours and hours, weeks and weeks on end. One of the sub-projects, maybe one of the most crazy ones, is implanting electrodes into the brains of animals to try to get them to move in predetermined directions. So basically to steer them like a remote control. The crazy thing about this sub-project, MKultra is composed of 149 sub-projects, this was one of them, is it worked. This actually worked. In the late 1950s, they implanted electrodes into the brains of rats, cats, dogs, and especially with the dogs, you could actually get them to move on a predetermined path in a field. And the way that they did this is by stimulating pleasure centers of the brain through positive reinforcement. So if the dog moved in a correct direction, they would reinforce that stimulus, and so they would feel this pleasure and they would continue moving. If they moved in an undesired direction, then you would stop stimulating this part of the brain and they would look around and search for it and try to find it again. And through this, you could actually get them to move in pre-desired directions. You could steer them like a remote control. And there are a couple of quotes from some of the documents that I found about why are they doing this? Why do you want to be able to steer animals or potentially people? And within these documents, it says the CIA planned to attach payloads of interest to these guidance systems to use in direct executive action type operations. And the payloads of interest was biological and chemical weapons. The guidance system was the animals, and direct executive action is a euphemism for assassination. So we want to create these animal assassination drones that can be remotely controlled, carrying these biological materials. And within one of these documents, the CIA is speculating what's the best animals we could use for this. And apparently they say it's yaks and bears because they, and I'm quoting, are capable of carrying heavy payloads over great distances under adverse climatic conditions. So we need to strap them with a lot of biological materials and we can control these yaks to potentially go kill someone.
Holy shit, they'd created like the B-22 flying fortress of the animal world.